question to the ladies: what is your duty as a woman to society, and what do you think a man duty is to society? Okay, good question for the ladies. Let's start with Tatiana, right?
Tatiana, yeah.
Let's start with you.
I think everybody's duty is to play their part equally. I feel like if the woman plays her part, the man plays their part, everything will work fine. I feel like if nobody thinks that anyone should be doing more than the other, then it won't be too much of you should be doing this or you should be doing that or you're not doing this or you're not doing that. I feel like everybody should play their part.
Okay, cool. And what's that part? Like, what's the duty?
I feel like
the woman's duty specifically. It
the
says
woman's duty specifically. I feel like
for society, it's talking about.
For society, okay. Yeah. I feel like as far as on the woman's behalf, as far as what the man is expecting on your behalf, if you want to be with that man, I feel like if they're, I'm gonna just speak for myself, okay. So in general, I go to work. I will cook, I will clean, I will take care of whatever I need to take care of and play my part. Like,
how is that helping out society?
Society, as far as society,
yeah, what would be your role to help out society?
In society,
yeah, within, let's just say the society that we live in is the United States. That's our nation. Yeah. So within the United States, what is your duty?
I go to work.
Okay, so your duty is just to go to work. All right, fair enough. And let's go with you next. Then we're gonna go around this way. Lizzie. What do you think? Oh, real quick. I'm sorry, Tatiana. Let's go back to you. What is the man's duty now in society? So you said the woman's duty is to go to work. And what kind of work though does the woman have to do in society in order to do her duty? What kind of work?
I don't feel like anybody is entitled to any specific work. I feel like everybody should play their part. And if everybody plays their part, everybody will be okay. Like, I feel like if the man and the woman are equal as far as going to work, taking care of the household, but you're saying society. Like, I can't answer the question as to what we can do for everything else. Like,
what about the man though?
As far as the man,
what's the man's duty in society? What would you say?
I feel like just playing their part equally.
All right.
That's really it.
And Lizzie, what about you? Let's start with the woman first. What's the woman's duty in society?
I think a woman's duty in society is to take as good care of herself as possible. When women are taking good care of themselves, they are a benefit to every single person around them. And I think a man's duty in society is to show up and keep the peace.
Okay, so the woman's duty is to be solipsistic and think that the world revolves around her, and the man's duty is to take care of everybody else and maintain the peace.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you don't have
so women don't have any duties, but men have all the duties?
Are around women that just care about other people's happiness all the time, and we're taught that their happiness is not important. But I've learned, and in my experience, the more that I take care of myself and the better I feel, that everyone else benefits around me tenfold. Yeah,
so that just means that the woman's duty in society is solipsistic. It's selfish. It's only worrying about itself. Women should only worry about themselves, but men should worry about everyone else.
That y'all have created, because it really isn't benefiting women at all.
But
really,
that wouldn't be to worry about yourself isn't a duty, Lizzie. How's that a duty in society to worry about yourself?
Did you listen to the whole thing that I said?
No, you said that women worrying about themselves. You said the byproduct of women worrying about themselves.
Society benefits as a whole.
That doesn't make any sense, Lizzie. All right, fellas, mission is critical. I was searching my name online and found tons of information that was way too personal. So I thought to myself, who has the ability to leak this type of information? And I found out there's companies called data brokers that profit out of selling your information to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. You already know I've been through many matrix attacks where people create fake pages of mine by using my data, and the same can happen to you. That's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep them off of these sites. They also do other things like bank fraud, identity theft alerts, and also VPN access. I want you to go ahead and utilize my link below in the description box for a 14-day free trial. At least you'll see if you've been compromised or not. Privacy is key nowadays, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link in the description box at aura.com/nofugazi and get 2 weeks free. That's more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed.
Do you know who the most selfish people I ever met in my life? And no offense,
Sure, go ahead.
are actually parents. And yeah. Because
Parents
everything
are the most
becomes about
selfish.
them and their little ecosystem. And what are they really doing for society? Like,
So do you know that currently right now that in America, we are below replacement level for our population, and it's supposed to be 2.7 babies per woman, but currently we're at 1.6 babies per woman. So we can't replace our population because women aren't having babies. To refute what you just said, well, the women that are having babies, they're not selfish. They're actually doing a duty and helping us maintain our population. The women that aren't having babies, well, those women are selfish.
or are they just using critical thinking and saying, why do we want to keep this society going in the first place? Because if it was going so well,
If you have a nihilistic view and you think that we should just blow up America, then go to another country. Why are you even living here? Why don't you go to France or go to Africa?
I don't know.
Go to
I
Brazil.
think if marriage was working so well, we'd be in a very different place than we are now.
Well, marriage would be working well if women didn't think like you, if women didn't have a nihilistic view of the world and think that, well, why have babies? I think that parents are the most selfish people. Well, that's why marriage go to crap. Marriages normally work out when you don't think about yourself. You're thinking about your husband. You're thinking about your children. You're thinking about other people other than yourself. This is why when I ask you the question, what's the woman's duty in society? You speak about yourself, the women to care about themselves. That's not a duty caring about yourself. That's just a
1,000%
solipsistic
true.
view.
When a woman is taking care of herself and pouring into her own cup, then she has more to pour into other people. So that was my point.
But you have to demonstrate that. That's what I'm asking you. You're saying that a woman taking care of herself, she has the ability to now pour into other people. The pour into
Right,
other
and
people.
isn't that the feminine, the ultimate feminine
no, that's what I'm-
traits?
But that's what I'm asking. The question is the pouring into other people.
Y'all are
what
so
does-
concerned about women being feminine, but then it's, what are you doing for me,
No, Lizzie.
woman?
Lizzie, just follow me, right? Because you said something, and I'm letting you know where you're missing the point. You saying that you want women to care about themselves, and the byproduct of that is it will benefit other people. And then you added on something just now and said, well, women would have the ability to pour into other people if she's pouring in herself. The question is, what is she doing to pour into other people? What does that look like? How do we observe that? Is it a duty? Is it not a duty? Like, what is it?
I think, I don't, it's just like a woman's intuition, I guess.
Women don't
Like,
have intuition, because if you had it, you wouldn't be single right now. You'd be in a relationship. You wouldn't have chose that. You wouldn't have chose the dude.
Not necessarily.
The guy that you was messing with for 6 months, you wouldn't have chose that man. If you had intuition, you would have knew that he wasn't going to be able to keep up on his promises. You would have seen the
so
red
I didn't
flags
follow
and
my
you would have dismissed
intuition
him.
once, so I don't have intuition.
You probably never followed your intuition with a man.
What do you mean?
Every guy that you've been with, did you break up with them?
Yeah.
Then that means you didn't follow your intuition.
How?
Because you chose a man and you also chose to break up with the man. If you
Yeah,
knew, listen, if you knew, if you were
going in
intuitive,
different directions.
no,
in
if you were
life.
intuitive, you would have known that he wouldn't be the right man for you, and you would avoid getting with him in the first place. Being intuitive is to mitigate risk, to avoid certain things from happening, or you can be intuitive to know things, right? So you say that, well, women should be intuitive. I'm just pointing it out that from what we observed here, you haven't been very intuitive within your own matters and relationships, which is fair. Most women aren't. Most men aren't either, right?
Yeah, most men aren't honest. So, but yeah, I mean,
But women aren't either. Women aren't honest. Most human beings aren't honest. If we're being real, men and women aren't honest, right? But the difference is though, women actually don't want a man to be honest. You would actually prefer him to lie. Because if he was honest, besides her, she'll take a guy that's honest because she'll have sex with him the first night. She's not going to disqualify him if she's attracted to him. But for most women, if he's honest, like if most men truly was honest about the things that they have on their mind, you would disqualify most men. You would look at them as disgusting. Because honest is when a man sees you, like if he's attracted to you, he's undressed you already. The first thing is, yeah, I want to smash that. So honest is telling you what's on his mind. I want to have sex with you right now, girl. You look good. If a man approached you like that, you'd be like, yeah, you're a weirdo. Get out of here. Now, if he's very attractive, you'll be like, is that a joke? Like, give me more. You're cute. I don't want to let you go. Like, if was that true? And he's like, yeah, I really just want to have sex with you right now. You'd be like, yeah, you're a weirdo. I don't care how cute you are. You're a weirdo. Get out of here. You don't qualify for sex. So what I'm saying is women actually like comfortable lies. You ladies don't like the truth. But anyways, that's another story. Let's get to the rest of the question, though. Let's go with you. See if you got an answer. So what is the woman's duty in society?
A woman's duty in a society. Well, I'm going to go off what she said. Women are selfish creatures. We really are. But I was taught that be so selfish that it serves other people. So if a woman is emotional, let that woman's emotions, the woman should be able to control her emotions enough to not affect the next person or her decisions enough to lead her into worse consequences. And a man's duty to society, is to know when to use his strength and to know when to not use his strength. Because a man's strength could be either dangerous or helpful to society.
Okay, so a man's duty is to know his strengths and to not know them.
No, a man's strength is to know when to use his strength.
Oh, know when to use it and when not to use them.
Yeah.
And then what did you say about the woman?
For a woman, since we are selfish creatures, we tend to feel a lot.
Yeah.
And with our emotions, that could either damage society or, have society serve us because of our emotions. So I think that's a woman's duty to society, is to know, to control her emotions enough to have it serve her anyway, because we are selfish creatures. That's just natural of us women.
Okay, so from what I've gathered from that, the man's duty is to think and the woman's duty is to feel, because you only said that you're not giving me an action. Like, what are you doing
I
in
don't
society
think you heard
to
me,
help
so
it?
I'm going to say my answer
So listen, no, I did hear you. Let me just repeat it back. I'm going to explain to you how you basically said think for men, feel for women. It's think for men. Look, it's think for men because the man has to know when to use his strengths.
Yes.
And he has to know when not to use his strengths.
Yes.
So this would be only to think.
Yeah.
Got it. The woman's duty is to know when to feel and basically know when not to feel, because ladies are very emotional and things like that.
Correct.
So how is it a duty if the man is thinking and the woman is feeling? They're not getting nothing done.
Because if you know a woman, you know that her emotions can be detrimental to society. If I feel something and I have you go fight for it when you really don't need to because I felt something, then I will be sending you in harm's way for no reason. But if I felt something and was able to check that, you wouldn't be going anywhere to use your strength to damage society. So my duty to society is to control my emotions, because a woman's emotions can make or break her. And in society, that happens.
But you still said the woman's emotions could help or break her. We're speaking about how can it help or break society. You have to look at it more broadly than just viewing it as an individual. It isn't an individual level question. And it's a societal level question. So the question is about women. What are they doing to help out other people in society? Doing an action. And what are men doing to help out other people in society? If you don't have the answer, that's fine. I could just.
I gave you the answer already.
So that is your answer.
Yeah. If you don't understand it, you can't just say that, and we could talk about it and break it down even more. But if you
no, I understand it. We just walked through it. Men duty is to think, which isn't a duty, and then the woman's duty is to feel, which isn't a duty. It's not an action.
A woman's duty is to have her emotions in check. to society.
Yeah, that isn't an action though. But okay, what's the woman's duty in society?
I feel like a woman's duty in society is basically to be like, sort of like a positive, I don't want to say role model, but maybe like a representation of, what women should be, because based off of, social media now, we really go off of what we see. So I feel like if we see more positive, reinforcement, we're more than likely to pick up on that same habit. And the same thing goes to men.
What does that look like though?
More so staying with your kids, staying employed always.
Staying employed always?
Yes.
Always?
Yes.
So the woman should always stay employed?
Yes. Whether it's a job or whether it's, I don't know, I just feel like a woman should have their own craft, if that makes sense. Don't ever lay up under a man. Don't ever make it as if you can't make your own, if that makes sense. Like you need to depend on a man, because that
But you're going back to own, like you're still speaking about the woman from what she can do for herself. The question is not about what the woman can do for herself. It's about what the woman can do for society. Like the action that she does, how it's going to trickle down and benefit other people in society.
Society is watching you. It don't matter what you do.
I get that. I like that part. I definitely do like that part. Mm-hmm. Women should portray themselves better out there. So, because their daughters are looking, other women are looking, so they just should try to portray themselves in the best way that they can. I agree with that. Then the question is, well, what does that look like? And then you revert it back to speaking about like just do for self. But like, what does that look like?
Every woman isn't superwoman. I feel like one woman can't really provide for society. I feel like the most you can do is provide for the ones that you love or the ones that you can actually like reach upon. There's no way one woman can impact the entire society. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I get what you're saying. Not one woman can't. I'm not speaking about one, where the question is not on an individual level. The question is on a societal level. So women as a whole, what can they do to benefit society? What is their duty as a whole to benefit society? So it's an action. What action can they do that'll be a net positive for society?
If you want a direct answer, there is none. I feel like there's nothing a woman can do to directly, like there's no duty a woman directly has to benefit or help society. Honestly.
That's fair enough. All right. What about you? She like, man,
No.
listen, man.
No.
So if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.